own an Epic E40FX and you'd like to make it a lot easier to step up into your golf cart, then check these guys out. So I'm gonna take you guys step by step on how to install these guys on your FX40. But before we do that, I gotta cover some key details about our steps and what makes them special. First and foremost detail that makes our steps special is that they're designed and made right here in Ohio. We're not importing them from the cheapest manufacturer overseas. We're not trying to pick the cheapest way to build them. We are over-engineering, over-designing, and then putting our money where our mouth is and building these American-made, so that way they actually last you as long as they are meant to last you when you're investing your hard-earned money on our products. Next is the whole purpose of the step, which is they make it easier to step up into your golf cart. So they go from a 18-inch jump down to a 10-inch. So 8 inches of difference to step up into your Epic now. And that is obviously pretty significant. They're not too low or they're gonna be hitting things on the ground, but they're low enough to make it a lot easier to get into your golf cart. And that kind of leads me into our next key detail is the fact that they're full length. So they're 48 inches long. And we are very serious about exclusively making running board steps that are full length long, because you're always stepping in a different spot when you're getting in and out of your golf cart. So when I'm getting in the cart like this, I'm stepping in a small spot, but I might be stepping like this to get out. And I just stepped in a wildly different area, including backseat passengers. They're stepping like this, they might be stepping like that. And I'm stepping in all this area. You can see all the dirt in the step now where I'm stepping. Well, that's a lot of surface area that I need to use to get in and out of the cart without aiming in a specific spot. Another element is the grip. So due to these slotted holes and the texture powder coat, they grip your shoes extremely well. That way, even if you're using them in wet conditions like it's raining or it's snowy, these aren't slipping on your feet. They've got texture powder coat. And last but not least, possibly my favorite feature of our trail steps for the FX40 is the ease of installation. You don't have to cut any holes in your frame. You don't have to know how to weld. You just have to use a couple of wrenches and maybe 10 minutes of your time, and you can install our trail steps on your Epic. Now, before I dive into that installation part of the video, I gotta tell you where you can buy these. You can click on the description below, click on the little icon of the step for the steps below the video here on YouTube, or go to BACarts.com, click accessory store, and then navigate your way to the Epic and our catalog of Epic parts. But with that being said, I'm done selling these guys to you. Let's dive into the step-by-step installation process. So when you open your E40FX Trailstep box, you are going to see the following items: a driver and passenger side trail step, then 4 identical trail step mounts, they're all the same, and then you will have 2 baggies of hardware, 4 3/8 bolts that mount to the mounts, bolt to the mounts, and then you have 8 5/16 bolts and nuts that mount to the steps. And the tools you will need to install the FX40 steps will be the following items: 9/16 wrenches or socket. And I primarily am going to use the wrenches, and you'll see why, because there's some tight spaces. So 9/16 wrenches, half-inch wrenches as well. And again, I'm going to primarily use just wrenches, not power tools as much, because there's some tight spaces. But if you want to use power tools where you can actually fit it in, you can use 9/16 socket and half-inch socket for an impact like this. It can speed some things up, and we might use it just in a couple spots to make things go fast. But that is all you need, and that is what you will receive when you open your box. So let's get into the installation. Alrighty, so we're gonna start the install on the driver side first. And where we're gonna start is the front of the driver side. I've got my 2 mounts. I have my 9/16 wrenches, 2 of them, and then I have my 3/8 bolts with washers and nuts. So you just need 2 of those. And to make this very clear on exactly where these mounts go, if you look under the frame, under here, Keely, you'll see that there's 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 4 pieces of the frame coming down, as you see. The first mount goes on the very front one. So if we ignore these 3, it goes in the very front one, and it goes on the inside of it. And you'll see why. There is a rod that is welded on the inside of the mount. And I'll tell you what, let me grab it real fast and show. There is a rod right here. You can see that rod up there. The mount slides inside of that. So there's a little notch at the top of that this slides inside of that, and then it mounts to the hole. So that notch is sliding around that rod, and then we are mounting it with the bolt. Then I take my wrenches, and this is where I was saying impact tools can be tough to use because of how tight a space is here. Maybe you have a right angle impact, you can make it work, but now I'm taking my 9/16 wrenches and I'm tightening this down. And I'm tightening it pretty thoroughly. I tightened that pretty hard. So that's now installed. That's truly how simple it is to install these mounts. The only important part is where you're mounting them. Instead of the very front mount, just like the front, we have 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. This will mount to the very rear tab you see there. And it slides into the rod, just like the other one. If you want to get in there a little close. So you can see it's sliding on the rod. And to make it simple, if it's not slid around the rod, this bolt will not go through that hole because the holes will not line up. So that'll help you know if your mount is around that rod or not. Bolt nut is tight, mount is good to go. That's how simple it is to install both the driver's side mounts. Now we will mount the driver's side trail step. So to know which side driver and passenger, the logo is always on the rear. It'll face the rear side of the cart. So in other words, you see the BA logo, that's driver, and this is passenger because the BA logo is on the rear side. So we take our driver mount here, we grab our 5/16 bolts and nuts. And one thing to describe too is the mounts slide on the outside of the gussets here. Obviously they won't fit on the inside because of this long gusset, but they will go on the outside right here. So we take them and slide it into place, just like that. And then we take 4 5/16 bolts and nuts, and we need our 13 mil or 1/2 inch wrenches. I'm just for sake of speed, I'm also gonna grab my 1/2 inch socket with my impact. And now we just finger tighten these in the mounting holes on the step and then on the mount. Doesn't really matter which way you put the bolts and nuts through. It's up to you how the way you do it. Before we tighten this down with the wrenches and socket, one thing you want to make sure is you're mounting the step in the way you want to have it mounted. These slide in and out. Not a ton, but we provide some play there with our mounting holes. That way that it can fit any car. If the chance there's any difference at all in the frame, measurements are different, we want to make sure you can still mount your steps the exact angle you want to make sure they look right. So we provide some slotted holes. So with that being said, looking from the top down, you'll see that when we're doing this, you want it to be parallel, and it is dead on parallel right now. So the exact position they're in right now is how I want to mount these trail steps. So now I will take I'm gonna take my socket where I can fit it, which will be the interior holes now, and I'm gonna tighten these up first. So I did that one. I won't be able to get the socket. I don't think I will on this front one, but maybe I will. Oh, I was. So tighten both those thoroughly. Now, take this, tighten this. Beautiful. I was able to fit the impact in all 4 bolts and nuts. And due to the design of the mounts, there shouldn't be any difference in the levelness of the step. It should be perfectly level with the frame. And now I kept the step in the position that kept it parallel with the rocker panels as far as being left to right. And that is how simple it is to install the driver's side trail step. So now we perform the exact same steps on the passenger side. Passenger side now, 2 mounts, 2 3/8 bolts. And again, we mount to the very front tab on the interior side. So the notch at the top of the mount slides around the welded on rod. Slide it into place. And that is how easy it is to install the BA Trailsteps on your Epic E40. If you ran into something during your installation that doesn't match our written instructions or video instructions, please let us know. All of our contact info is here in the video, in the description below. Just go to bacarts.com. You'll see all of our contact info there as well. Again, how you can buy these is in the description below, or go to bacarts.com and click on accessory store. And also, we have a lot more products for the Epic: the cart rack, the hitch receiver, the overhead console. We have a lot more coming soon after this video shot. So stay tuned, hit subscribe so you can see more Epic products come out for your cart. And with that being said, per usual, thank you for watching and thank you for supporting BA Carts.